boomers have 71 trillion in assets over March. I mean, the wealth transfer that's going to occur between these two generations is crazy. Why would any US Gen X or millennial with a boomer parent even go to work if they've got $1 million?
US boomers have $71 trillion in assets, is that what you said?
Yeah, that's the number I have here. So
an entire turn of global GDP in savings.
That's about 1/7 of the world's total assets.
It's just a lot of locked up wealth. And this monetary policy was done by boomers.
70 trillion, controlled by 76.4 million people.
Yeah.
So if you want to really talk about the rich in a global context, the rich are very specifically US boomers.
Yeah, that's 1/7 of the world's assets.
1/7 of the world's assets. It's controlled by 76 million people.
How much of it is their homes?
I mean, they were at Woodstock. They lived the best life in the best times. They enjoyed the most of the peace dividend in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. They are the ones that control everything.
It's pretty crazy.
I think it's less like Jeff Bezos and Gates and Musk. It's boomers. If you want to go and really zoom out and get it right, it is boomers. It's 1% of the global population that controls 1/7 of the global wealth. And they're all in the United States.
US boomers.
Hiding in plain sight. US boomers. There you are.
Well, once these housing prices decline and the stock market declines, that number is going to shift. And that really is what's fundamentally happening with the fiscal policy and the effects it's having today, which is a redistribution of that value, because we're basically deflating all those assets now. We're going to deflate
the average boomer
assets, and we're going to deflate real estate assets.
I mean, if you just do the math on that, back of the envelope, these boomers are worth $1 million each. Like, think about that. Like, every boomer is worth $900K, $1 million, something in that range.
1.2 million.
I mean, it's bonkers.
What's bonkers is the Netherlands saw the biggest monthly increase in prices, 13.7% to 17.1% in September. That's a crazy amount of inflation. Hey, everybody. It's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. Let's get into it. I don't know if you saw the TikTok video being shared about a Scottish CBDC, a central bank digital currency, being built on the XRP ledger. My first reaction was, well, how did this slip under my radar? So with a quick search, I could find that the article that everyone was sourcing right here was coming from cryptonews.com. Following that link, you get a 404 error page, which means they have removed that article. And using the Wayback Machine, that is a tool that takes a screenshot or captures the page before it's taken down, you can see here that this is an article that was up as recent as August 30th, 2022. So there's a lot of articles that are on what I would call low quality media websites. And the curious thing about it is many of them have this disclaimer that the text below is a press release that is not part of the cryptonews.com editorial content. Well, obviously, nobody's really checking into whether this is real or not. It's got a lot of names like Claire Rothschild being the CEO, Julia Windsor being the central bank coordinator, and George Boyd as the chief economist. So as you can see, you've got those names in what is called the ALBA team, alba.scot. Following that link, it too has been removed. While using the Wayback Machine again, we can see this alba.scot website is a free Shopify template reminiscent of something that was made in 2001. And it talks about ALBA right here, that you can simply trade your ALBA, which is a coin, into one of the hundreds of assets on the XRP ledger, including gold, silver, stocks, bonds, and other cryptocurrencies, and central bank digital currencies. It says ALBA is a revolutionary Scottish table currency backed 1-to-1 with the British pound and interoperable with XRP on the XRP ledger. I think this was somebody's attempt at doing something, but it is really nothing. So the point is, when you hear different news out there being spread around, double check, triple check before you believe anybody out there in the land of TikTok, YouTube, or Twitter. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. Yeah, just a little short video because I wanted to shed some light on that Scottish CBDC on the XRP ledger by Alba floating around out there on social media. So, well, at least I can share with you the research results that I happen to find. All right, so the fluff today comes by way of inspiration from Chip. Chip is on the left there, and he is on the chain. I love their podcast. I wish they would do it more often. He asked me if it was true that houses are actually given away in Japan. And I told him today, well, yes, it is true. And I thought, okay, this is today's fluff. Japan does have free houses. The houses are usually one of the 8 million standing homes that are empty, with nearly 1/3 of them that have been abandoned. And this happens for many reasons, mostly because the people who owned the home pass away and there is no one to leave it to, or because the inheritance is so high here, it is just abandoned. And tax for the majority of them are just left, and people walk away from the house, leaving it in limbo. The word used in Japanese is akiya, and it really breaks down to about 1 in every 10 homes here are unoccupied. For the most part, they're located far away from cities that have good jobs and the conveniences of modern day life. And the other challenge is most of these homes are old and need major repair. The cost of renovating is usually, well, more than the cost of buying a new home. Each city has a different list of qualifications to receive a home that has been cleared to give away. Quite often, it's done on a point system and sometimes through a lottery. If it's a point system, you have to be younger. You have to also understand that you're going to score higher if you have children in middle school age or younger. And recently, IT companies have been recruited because people now can do remote work. So this is a good thing. And the other interesting component to this is that there are akiya banks that specialize in such transactions. Yes, this is an extreme example. So let's go to a listing that is live and is in a really nice place called Toyama. So that you can understand where Toyama is, where you see my mouse here is Tokyo, and the red outline is Toyama. In Toyama, there is a city called Kamichi, and this is their listing of akiya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. All of them have been given away except for this one right here. So we'll take a look at the details. Here's where the property sits. You can see that it is a residential area, and the lot itself is quite large. It is a 2-story. You have a dining and kitchen, bathroom, dressing room area with a storefront on the first floor. And the second floor has 3 rooms. So you've got 45 square meters on the bottom with 228 square meters on top. That's because they're deducting a little bit for the storefront. And when we come down and take a look at the detail of pictures from the exterior and interior, the Shotengai, or the shopping street, looks very quiet, like many of the businesses are shuttered. On the interior, wow, I don't know what this floor is, but here's a room that has some tatami flooring. Looks like it definitely needs to be replaced. The bottom portion of the screen is missing. Needs a lot of work. This has a lot of potential, though. This is a nice garden area. I like that. Kitchen. Wow. Wow. It looks like originally the first floor in the front was some sort of store that was maybe a market, because here's a cooler. And that is still there. This is upstairs. Quite large, quite traditional, but a lot of work. The toilet. Pink toilet. Yeah, something maybe late 60s, early 70s. I don't know. So you get an idea what is involved in living in a free place like this. 7 rooms, though. It's pretty big. And here's an aerial view of the city of Kamichi. It sits at the base of the mountains that are very beautiful, especially when they're snow-capped. So there you have it, the Japanese Akiya. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.